Classic case of cardiac failure. Constant deadlines, no sleep, processed food. This is the most fastest way to age. 21 powerful biohacks to biohack your 4 different bodies. There's a 5th hidden one, we'll talk about it later.
It's because their muscles were not strong enough to support their bone health.
Me that I have 5,000 species of bacteria. From inside, I don't feel like a patient anymore. Can we do tests to prove that? Who haven't touched their dumbbells ever in their life? Imagine
Absolutely.
what is happening at their cellular biology.
Welcome back to The Wellness Blueprint, a podcast by The Wellness Co, where we decode all things wellness. Today, we're going to be diving into one of the biggest shifts happening in global healthcare today, moving from treating illness to optimizing health. And joining me today is someone right at the center of that shift, Dr. Arpit Bansal, cancer surgeon, gut health expert, and a biohacker who's truly pushing the boundaries of what longevity and prevention can look like in real life. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Arpit.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for such a kind introduction. I'm here to tell everybody that biohacking, we have been talking about biohacking. Biohacking is a very fancy word, but let's take a step back before. What is health? For most people who talk about health is a very disease-centric approach. Like, first of all, if I am not diseased, then I'm healthy. But biohacking is more of a mindset perspective shift first. Then obviously it's about adding gadgets, devices, and the beautiful things which we are doing. Right. But it is more of a mindset shift. And it is not something fancy only for astronauts or elite athletes. It is for everyone.
Absolutely. Yes, I mean, of course, when it comes to biohacking, Dr. Arpit is the foremost expert. So what we're doing here at the Wellness Co also is really looking at kind of making biohacking approachable for people and making the topic, let's say, less let's say hi-fi, and making it seem like it's something that any layman or any everyday person can get into and look at optimizing their health, right?
Exactly. And I like the theme nature, because nature is real biohacking. I feel that actually the word biohacking will have to be slowly trademarked into a better one. It is a trendy new word, but actually you don't hack your biology. You synchronize it. So it can be better, it can be bioharmonizing, because ultimately it's more of, as the world is evolving, the medicine is evolving, there is coming age of quantum biology. We talk about quantum in physics, but biology, we keep it separately, right? But now the coming age is of quantum biology, and that is the root cause of it, is why red light therapy works, why hyperbaric works, or why any of these non-chemical formulations of medicines work. Like the big pharma is ruling the medical industry. But the energy medicine and the science behind energy medicine is because of red light, because of bioharmonizing, syncing with your biology rather than resisting it. So biohacking is basically when we stop resisting disease and start syncing with our biology.
Sure, absolutely. I think it's very important for people to understand that I think in the current day scenario, with all of the, let's say, environmental risk factors that we face, with the daily stresses that people undergo, with the kind of, let's say, lifestyles that people are living, waking up early, going to sleep late, all the kind of, let's say, blue light exposure and all these things as well. That's where I think people are really kind of looking for the real solutions to the struggles that they're facing on a daily basis, right?
Correct.
When we're looking at illness, of course, when there's something chronic going on, there's something really wrong with your body, of course, at that stage, you need that medical intervention. You might need, let's say, a procedure or something to help you. But when you're just feeling down on a daily basis, or you're struggling with your energy levels or fatigue, or let's say aches and pains that don't really make sense, it's because you're out of sync with your biology.
Exactly. And like, as you rightly said, the basis starts with inflammation. And the inflammation, obviously it is cellular inflammation. So it starts with cells. But even before that, it starts in the mind. Because that is called as red mind living. So our chronic red mind and the blue mind is what my trademark is, which I talk in the Globe about. All like blue mind, you can equate it to parasympathetic nervous system, and the red mind you can equate it to the sympathetic nervous system.
Sure.
So sympathetic, obviously everybody knows, is the fight and flight response, and the parasympathetic is the calming response. This is the autonomic nervous system. It's how we perceive life. And like when we want to talk about wellness, not just health or health optimization or medicine 3.0, then we should talk about how we can sync with our biology. This we have spoken till now. That happens when we are in sync with nature. So any biohacking or any health optimization, you should try and go back to nature. How we used when we were hunter-gatherers, we used to get up with sunrise. And We used to prepare our food. Movement was a natural part of our life.
Right.
Like, because we used to just move kilometers to hunt, look for food, to hunt, run, stamina, because we used to chase animals. So we were already working on our VO2 max automatically. And then after the sunset, there was no light. So there was no artificial blue light exposure post sunset. And then we used to maybe light a fire, cook food, and go to sleep as early as possible, and then wake up automatically. So that is what nature and human body is devised to be. But sadly, we humans, we thrive control. We thrive that we want more out of everything. Once we started mastering our days, then we started going into our nights. We invented lights, and that messed up everything. Then we invented discos, parties. We started encroaching our nights, and that's how our root cause healing started to suffer, because we started causing cellular inflammation at the root level by disturbing our sleep, by so many things. And problem is not with the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system is our fight and flight response.
Sure.
So that's good. If a tiger comes next to me, I cannot sit in a Buddha posture and a blue mind, because the tiger is probably going to eat me unless I emit really powerful vibrations, which I do. But apart from that, if a tiger comes, or if at night you're sleeping and some disaster happens, you will suddenly wake up and you will have all the energy to run as fast as a lion, as a tiger, and save you and your family. Sure. That's the true red mind which we need to inculcate. Red mind is where we thrive, we drive, we do things. And the blue mind is contrastingly the calm mind. True healing happens in the blue mind. So, because it is where creation happens. It is where clarity comes in. It is where you are calm and composed. Your heart rate is going down. But problem with this lifestyle is we wake up with alarm clocks.
Right.
We wake up and dive directly into our task-based network. There are two types of networks in our brains. One is our default brain network, when we are connected to the frequency of the earth, of the universe, of vibrations. We are in alpha state, correct? And then after that, when we wake up, if we dive directly into our task-based network, thinking from one task to another, even if we are procrastinating, we are still in our task-based network in our brains.
Sure.
And we are running after things. Constant deadlines, no sleep, processed food, processed sugar. So this is classic red mind living. That's an interesting place where I need to tell a story about two patients who came to me in my clinic. So I do all this gut health, integrative, and some biohacking for my patients also.
Right.
There were two patients on the same day in my hospital in Allahabad. One was a 52-year-old male. He was a classical case of cardiac failure. Sure. We got all his liposomal markers, lipid profile, even CT angio, most were normal. But his hormones were off the chart. His heart was failing not because of the cholesterol. He was a classic example of what we talk about. The chronic red mind living, constant deadlines, no sleep, processed food. Contrastingly, I operated a CA cancer ovary patient laparoscopically, like stage 3, quite advanced, 6 months back. And then I've been going across the world, doing talks about blue mind, red mind, and true longevity. So she's been listening to my talks. She was on a 6-month follow-up. And she told me, Doc, I've been listening to your blue mind. So last 3 weeks, I've been going to the river every morning. And when I walk next to the river, I sit after walking. I feel the river is talking to me. And I feel I'm healed. From inside, I don't feel like a patient anymore. Can we do tests to prove that? That is the shift in the perspective of patients, of clients, of not just disease-centric people, but the community which we have to build.
That's amazing. Amazing. I mean, I think it's really important insights for pretty much everyone who could be listening today, because almost everyone, like you said rightly, right? Waking up feeling stressed, waking up feeling immediately going into that task-based thinking, not having that time to even decompress or process, not waking up with the morning sun, for example, waking up under artificial lights, having, let's say, gone to sleep on the phone, scrolling late at night, waking up immediately checking the phone first thing in the morning, there's a message, there's an email, there's something stressing you out. You know, there are a number of, let's say, different lifestyle habits that I think come under the guise of biohacking, and it makes it sound very serious, but these are small adjustments and things that people can do, right? And also, of course, you know, people have talked a lot about this concept of, let's say getting out into nature first thing in the morning or going into the morning sunlight, connecting with grass, connecting with, let's say, your natural environment,
Grounding is one of my
course.
favorite biohacks. So like,
Absolutely.
one more important thing, like which you already mentioned, like if you are here to take anything out of this podcast, we are just starting though, but first hour you wake up and for the last hour you go to sleep, you have to stay away from screens. And because that is a very sacred hour, apart from like, obviously the blue light is messing your melatonin, your metabolic flexibility,
Right.
you're becoming you'll not be able to sleep, your sleep quality will go down, your metabolism will become rigid. So that is secondary, but it's a very sacred hour because we don't talk about frequency. Your brain wave in an active state is in beta, and when you go to sleep, it crosses that alpha mark, and then it goes into theta, delta, deep sleep. So beta wave is, for example, 20 hertz, 12 to 20 hertz.
Sure.
Alpha is around 8 hertz. And alpha is the zone where when we are just going to sleep or we are just woken up from sleep, we are in alpha. And 8 hertz, coincidentally, in life there are no coincidences, is again close to the Earth's frequency or the Earth's vibration, that is 7.83 hertz, the Schumann resonance. So that in this we are actually connecting to the universal consciousness, the quantum field, and in that hour, and in that hour, if we connect to that field, it's not spirituality anymore. This is science.
Of course.
People, even Vishen Lakhiani, lots of big people, they do alpha manifestation by meditating, NSDR, so many techniques, and manifestation is done in the alpha state.
Right.
So that alpha state is very critical, and if you're getting in and out of it through our phones or messages or videos or things like that, then we are messing our mindset, messing our consciousness, and that's the basis of all the lifestyle issues which we are starting.
Of course. I think that kind of takes us nicely along to the next kind of topic of discussion that we wanted to start is, where is the start of chronic illness? Where does it begin? Because what we really see at the Wellness Co as well is we've had hundreds of clients who come in and they have all these symptoms and all these problems that they're facing, but they're not asking themselves the right questions, right? How is your sleep? Are you sleeping deeply for 7, 8, 9 hours a night? Are you resting properly? Are you actually, let's say, avoiding screens, as you rightly said, before you go to bed and after you wake up? Are you eating the right foods? Are you hydrating yourself correctly? Are you, let's say, taking care of your body to stay active and do all these things? Now, if you're not going to, let's say, take up these right lifestyle habits and make these right routines a part of your day, of course, health symptoms and health problems are going to crop up, right? You're increasing your risk of chronic disease by multifold by not going through this. So from your expertise, how would you, let's say, characterize the start of chronic illness?
See, first of all, any illness, as per Hippocrates, it says all disease begins in the gut. And it's very true, but let's deep down even further. They start in the cells. I believe everything starts from cells to consciousness. We already hinted a little bit about mindset and consciousness. Let's dive deep into the cells. So in life, we cannot when whatever we are eating and whatever we are consuming through water, through radiations, our cells are constantly under threat, constantly under damage. And resilience is everything. So to stay away from disease or wellness, we have to build our resilience. I will say that there are 4 kinds of resilience and 4 kinds of body, which that's my biohacking blueprint, the wellness blueprint. So I have made the biohacking blueprint across. So I just now presented at various conferences 21 powerful biohacks to biohack your 4 different bodies.
Okay.
There's a 5th hidden one. We'll talk about it later. Sure. But 4. So we always talk about health, nurture your one body. We have been build routines, build lifestyle habits, so that we take care of our one precious body, so that we can be healthy, health optimized, etc.
Right.
So, but I would take a step so that we can get deep into it. There are 4 bodies. First is your physical body or your earth body. Once you die, you go back to earth. That's clear. Most people talk about health, they limit their health thing to their physical body. There are 5 things in general. Like there are so many things. This is just a nutshell, concise, science-backed, not spiritual backed. Basic thing which everyone can start wherever they are. That's what the aim of this blueprint is.
Sure.
So Earth body, there are 5 biohacks. Number 1 is cellular hydration, because everything begins in the cells, and our human body is 70% water.
Right.
Planet Earth is also 70% water. So there is connection there. We'll talk about it later. But cells, when we do so many toxins, everything, our cells are becoming toxins, and we are not letting the cells recover properly. There is oxidative damage on our cells. There is so much reactive oxygen species building up. So all these things, cellular hydration is key. I drink molecular hydrogen water. This is a bottle which pumps molecular hydrogen into the water. And
Amazing.
Molecular hydrogen, again, being the first element in the periodic table, it is so small, it even crosses your blood-brain barrier. And it even helps you detoxify your brain cells.
Wow.
So number 1 is cellular hydration, not hydration. Before hydration, always put cellular. I'll not deep dive into each of them. Otherwise, each one then will take 1 hour. So number 2 is gut health. Gut health, people believe that we should eat probiotics, prebiotics. I also say gut health is definitely the use of good pre-probiotics.
Sure.
But true gut health is a diverse gut microbiome. I say you should always imagine your gut as a rainforest. We've all been to rainforest some or the other times. There are big trees, small trees, some bushes, some fungi, some mushrooms, some small trees, some twigs, etc., etc. Right? So that's exactly what is there in our gut. In nature, if you go to a rainforest, it is not perfect. We don't want our gut to be perfect. There are some, by God's grace, I don't have any disease, but I'm optimizing my health. That is why I'm a biohacker.
Sure.
So I did my own gut microbiome test. It showed me that I have 5,000 species of bacteria.
Right.
Number is in trillion, but 5,000 is species. So the more diverse your gut is, the more healthy you will be.
Right.
And just by including 2 types of probiotic, your gut will not become diverse. And all the probiotic, prebiotic capsules available in the market works around 4-5 species of bacteria.
Sure.
We are talking about making it 5,000 good types of bacteria. Obviously, there'll be some bad. We don't want perfection, as I already told. So gut health is targeting about diversity. Try to diversify your microbiome. Like when you travel, try kombuchas, try different fermented drinks. That's what our ancient culture used to, especially in India. There were so many fermented food products part of our normal life.
Right.
Fermented pickle, fermented cabbage, etc., etc. So then third is our VO2 max. We already mentioned a little bit about it. VO2 max is our body's capacity, how we can utilize that oxygen in our blood.
Sure.
The more healthier our cellular energy systems and cellular biology will be, we can do more out of the same oxygen, and our our real cells will be able to absorb better.
And I think it's absolutely key today, looking at the air pollution issues which are going on in, let's say, Delhi and different areas in India. It's an absolute
VO2
must.
max is the master thing which all of us need to work on, and it's also scientifically such a powerful predictor that if somebody's it outperforms the risk of smoking, cholesterol, and diabetes. All these 3 risks are on one side, and if the VO2 max is high, then you can outperform that risk. That is so important. For your physical body is muscle. Because muscle, people believe that I don't muscle, I do yoga. So exercise, like sadly we are not in the jungles anymore. Otherwise everything was automatic. We didn't need to, we invented exercise, but now exercise comprises of 3 types of training. One is zone 2 or cardio.
Right.
Then which HIIT obviously with some zone 5 to master your VO2 max. Then it is muscle training. And then it is flexibility or yoga or whichever form of flexibility works for you. If you're not training your muscles after 40, you're losing 1% of your muscle every year. And if you're not training after 50, you're losing 2% of your body muscle. So this is the most fastest way to age. If you don't want to, people who are above 40 or 50 who haven't touched their dumbbells ever in their life, imagine what is happening at their cellular biology.
Of course. I mean, we say to our clients and people who come in all the time, and whenever I speak with people, let's say in that community as well, muscle is the organ of longevity.
Exactly.
It is absolutely the most important.
Absolutely.
Because when you look at people who have lower qualities of life in their 60s, 70s, for example, and are facing, let's say, chronic arthritis and it's aches and pains and, let's say, lots of problems, it's because their muscles were not strong enough to support their bone health and support their organ health. And it all
started at 40.
It started at 40. Absolutely.
Probably at 30.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. See, at 40, your body is actually, human body, we have been made very adaptable very flexible, very resilient in nutshell automatically. So it starts not at 40, it starts at 30. But the 10 years adaptable and flexible, the human body absorbs the shock.
Sure.
But if you do testing, because these days is about proactive testing, then it'll be visible.
Absolutely. I mean, we do a lot of that ourselves, in terms of our diagnostic testing, the strength training profiles that we try to build for people. It always revolves around, let's say where you are right now and how far, let's say, is your deficiency.
Absolutely.
Because especially in India, this is a chronic risk factor, which I think advanced populations in, let's say, age are facing in a big way because they have never been exposed to this idea of strength training, right? A lot of people are very comfortable with their morning walks and their morning jogs and all of these things. But is that actually doing anything for you? The expertise says that it is, but not enough to build that muscle, especially.
Exactly. So you have to have a balance, and there are smarter ways. We are all here because you have built such a beautiful center with smart ways like cryotherapy to recover your cells, infrared saunas, etc. And even HBOT dives deep into the cells and it enhances the oxygen absorption of our cells, again enhancing recovery.
Of course.
But now even with muscles, I am working with a couple of countries because I travel a lot. There are electromagnetic pulse stimulation power suits of muscles.
Right. EMS training.
EMF training.
Yes.
I have that suit. With just 20 minutes of those training, you get muscle beneficial effect of up to 2 hours.
Right.
Obviously, you have to hydrate very much with it and take the right supplements, take the right nutrition, because it is intense training. It's not there is no shortcut. 20 minutes, if you're getting 2 hours of worth of body, then
you'll feel it.
You'll feel it.
Absolutely.
But you have to give that nutrition also. It's not for beginners, but it's there. The technology is there.
Absolutely. I mean, EMS training is something that we offer at the Wellness Co. For example, one of our flagship, let's say, mobility therapies. It's an amazing workout program, as you mentioned, and especially for people in those advanced age groups, it is something which is showing great results because these are people who are not used to, let's say, high impact exercises, right? With EMS training, the benefit is you can lift slightly lighter weights. You can go through a slightly less strenuous, actually a workout program that has less impact on your joints, but it gives you the same strength building benefits, the calorie burning, the fat burning benefits, and the muscle building benefits.
And this is good. So that is why centers like Wellness Co is going to be the future, because this is upgrading. Now there are Dr. Robot, I've been again invited by them. So I had visited their center in the New York, in the States. So they have incorporated all of this with AI.
Right.
And then you can add the patient's data, his bone scan, his or her bone scan, if it is elderly, or muscle scan, and all the other lean muscle mass. And the program will be designed integratively and very personalized, and can go gradual. As you rightly said, it will not harm the joints. So it is so essential these days to keep upgrading ourselves. But at the same time, so biohacking, I always say that we have to keep our mindset also parallelly involved. We have to do things, but with our blue mind, predominant state, not the red mind predominant.
I think that is something which, is something that we have tried to help people focus on a lot, like you rightly said, is that the active aspects of what you can do to build on, let's say, your longevity markers and help yourself age more gracefully and better and healthier and be stronger for a longer period of time. It's about activity, it's about recovery, it's about mindset, it's about cultivating those right habits and, let's say, utilizing the best of what modern wellness technology has to offer, right? Because like you mentioned, cryotherapy, red light therapy, far infrared sauna, etc. These are tools that are available to people now more than ever before to, of course, build on their daily routines.
And these are beautiful tools. I mentioned briefly that infrared sauna, they recharge your mitochondria and enhances your mitochondrial density. And mitochondria are not just powerhouses, they are the root causes of your cellular energies.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, of course, when we complement that with something like an IV drip, where we have NAD+, which is, of course, the most vital coenzyme for mitochondrial energy building, which is out there today. And of course, the research is absolutely amazing, which is out there, that people have found great, let's say, benefits to overcome their chronic fatigue problems, overcoming their sleep disorders.
Vitamin C, high dose of ascorbic acid, vitamin C. That's again, so we have to go back to our roots. And vitamin C, vitamin D, these are two basic vitamins which, if you master, then you can master your biology.
Absolutely.
With biohacking, I don't like the word biohacking too much. I like health optimization as a better word, or holo-harmonizing, bio-harmonizing, which I was saying. So you have to definitely biohack by these gadgets, but with presence. So
absolutely. I think the right expertise and the right guidance also plays a really important part in this.
That is so crucial
because you need someone who's going to be there in your corner who really understands what you're
and that's
going
what beautiful centers like these are for.
Absolutely. I mean, I think our doctors and doctors like yourself, for example, are really leading the wave in this new mindset shift because, of course, India has always had a very reactive healthcare system, right? When we talk about healthcare,
It is still quite reactive.
it's still very reactive,
Yeah.
right? It's still to the extent that everyone is waiting until some sort of health issue comes up or they get sick and they're going 100% full speed ahead and not taking that time to realize what toll it's taking on their body. And then they're hoping that doctors like yourself can conduct some miracle for them, but it doesn't really work like that.